Here we are, folks, here in New Hampshire, where the guys are going to put on 175 laps. This is the Elite Championship Racing League. This is their Cup Series put on by Pitstop Designs. These guys are just now starting qualifying. Here up in the booth with me tonight is going to be my good friend, Todd Gilly. Got a copy, Todd?
I do, Jeff. Great to be here tonight, man.
Yes, sir. These guys are going to be going 175 laps around this flat track. What are we expecting to see tonight, Todd?
It's a small field tonight, Jeff. 21 cars. I expect to see it spread out and become a tire management race. Also, this goes without saying, throttle management is everything here. They're diametrically opposite of the Busch car last night. Excuse me, the Beeline Series car last night, which was neutral tight. This car is neutral loose.
All right, so we got a neutral loose car coming out of here where Todd says throttle control is going to be everything tonight. Which turns in particular, Todd, do you think we're going to see some of these issues come up? Is it going to be mostly turn 2 or is it going to be coming out of turn 4?
I'm looking for guys to wreck on entry, actually. Turns 1 and 3, I think if you see guys getting over aggressive on entry, we're going to see some wrecks. But there's only going to be 21 cars, and I'm hoping they'll spread out. Everybody will settle in, and we'll see a great ECR race tonight.
Absolutely. Last night, we went caution-free, I believe, Todd. Was that right? Caution-free in Beeline Sim Series in the B-Cups?
No. The truck race went caution-free.
Okay. The truck race. Yes, that's our truck race that happens on Monday nights. That did go caution-free. So we expect some good driving. A lot of these same guys driving the trucks that are here in the Cup cars tonight. And I think these boys are going to go ahead and tame this track. Let's talk about this track a little bit, Todd. This track is a little bit over a mile long. It's 1.03 miles, so just a touch more than 1 mile. It is in Loudon, New Hampshire. A lot of guys will interchange this as New Hampshire Speedway, or they'll just go ahead and they'll call it Loudon. So here in New Hampshire tonight, Todd, it's 1.03 miles, of course. And the weather out there tonight, Todd, is 77 degrees with a west wind. And what a west wind means is it's going to be pushing them as they're going through turn 1 and 2. And going against them as they go in 3 and 4. So they might find a little bit more grip here in 3 and 4. But for right now, that is our weather. And also I forgot to say the track temperature at 82 degrees. So it's a little bit cool out there. So that's going to have a little bit of an impact, don't you think, Todd?
It'll make a nice grippy racetrack, yeah, if it rubbers in. We'll see which groove develops. It's going to be interesting to see where they run. I thought that a lane or two off the bottom was where it was at last night. But it might be different with the Cup car. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to see how it pans out. I do love this track though, Todd, myself. I like how it affords a lot of lanes, but I do notice that a lot of the times these guys, when they're going around the track here, a lot of them like to dive in, and then others like to take the long way around a little bit of the outside. I think the guys that dive in are gonna have to be checking up a little bit tonight, just so they don't slide up into that top lane car.
Exactly. That's what I was mentioned earlier, that over aggressive dive bomb, and you can get the thing around backwards there and then take the guy out above you. But the best guys are here tonight. This is a great league, and I'm looking forward to a great race tonight.
Yes, sir. Same here. I can't wait for this one to show its face out there tonight, because it is going to be awesome, without a doubt. While these guys finish up qualifying, Todd, let's go ahead and cut to a commercial break, and we'll come right back.
Let's do it.
Back here in New Hampshire for 175 laps. This is the Elite Championship Racing League Cup Series presented by Pitstop Designs, doing all of your paint schemes that you may possibly need is Joey Stats. That's Joey and Stats Staats. We do have a 21 car field tonight here at New Hampshire, and we're looking forward to some fantastic racing. We'll come up with the grid here in just a moment. Looks like Bruce Ackerman and the number 92 vehicle, he does take the pole with the best time of 28.496. I am showing only 8 drivers as posting a qualifying time to start tonight's race.
I think that's extremely interesting, Jeff, that only 8 guys qualified.
Yeah, very, very interesting that only 8 did, but that may lead to the fact that only maybe 8 of the drivers in here are running for points. The rest of them are running for owner points and for money.
Could be.
Could be. So, no further ado, we'll go down the current qualifying order. If you don't mind doing the honors, Todd, and call out the number for me as well.
Okay, on the pole we had number 92, Bruce Ackerman. Qualifying on the outside of row number 1, number 97, Steve Massey. Qualifying third, number 43, Jerome Justin. Qualifying fourth, number 07, John Cottle. Fifth, 87, Josh Sheets. Sixth, Ed Adams, one of my cars in the 46. Seventh, Scotty Brown in the number 30 car. Chris Steele in the number 11 car will start 8th, and he'll be the last guy to post a qualifying time.
All right, so there we go, folks. Eight guys on the took qualifying laps. 21 car field. This is going to be good, fellas. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to calling this with my good friend Todd Gilly. And we are about to get started. We are 1 to green as the pace car brings them around for this 175 lap affair. Last night's...
I wish I knew. I'm sorry, Jeff. I wish I knew the fuel window.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what the fuel window is here. Last night it was 30 coasting. 30 coasting. So I don't know how that will play out here. I see the guys here about a second and a half faster. So probably a little bit less than 30 is what I'm going to guess.
And I don't know if I mentioned earlier, there is no race control tonight for the ECRL race. So the drivers are at the mercy of iRacing's flagging system, which means you cannot get a black flag cleared. And here we go as we go green.
There they go, boys. Bruce gets out to a fairly acceptable start there with Stephen Massey following in close behind. So it looks like 92 of Bruce Ackerman is going to lead the first lap of this race, Todd. And he is a very fast driver. He was very fast last night. He eventually did get out of the race due to an incident there at the end. But he's probably looking to trying to make up for it tonight and possibly get a W.
Well, at the risk of rubbing on a sore spot, I think he made some contact with the 98 car early in the race last night.
Yeah. Todd's laughing there because that number 98 car was me last night, lap 10. But interesting point about last night, Todd. Like you said, this is a tire wear track. Okay, tire wear track, just like you stated. Let me and don't look it up, but who do you believe had the fastest average lap time last night?
Oh, I don't know. It might have been the 98 car.
Exactly. I did have this track down. Even with damage, I had the quickest average lap time. But just having to spend some time in the pits and everything just didn't allow me to get out there. But tonight, looks like old Bruce Ackerman isn't going to leave any contact out there for anyone because he's pulling away from the field, Todd, at about a half second already after a few laps.
Bruce Ackerman liked this car in practice. I talked to the drivers before I came up here, and There was a mixed bag of reviews on tonight's setup, but in general, most guys really liked the setup tonight. Bruce Ackerman in particular said he liked the setup tonight, and I expected him to be fast tonight.
And he is. Let's work our way through the field here. So we got Bruce in first. We're going to go through some of the cars. You got Steve Massey at number 97 in second. Behind him, you got that 07 of Justin Caldwell and the fourth place driver, Jerome Gustin, who was last week's winner in a controversial ending, which we'll talk a little bit about later there, Todd. Behind him, you got Josh Sheets in that 87 car running fifth. Ed Adams at number 46 car, which is Todd Gillies' driver. He's got a 6th spot for you right now, Todd.
Woohoo!
There you go. I do believe he finished well last night, too. He finished 1 or 2 spots ahead of me.
Third.
Yeah, third. There you go. I think I was 6th, I believe, or 7th, maybe. Watkins in that 03 car in 7th. Behind him, 31 Douglas Hess. Changed up his paint scheme from last night. Luis Salmosa in that 99 car. Apparently, he's running for Ken Worley, Todd?
He must be. I just realized that he's not in his traditional 4 there.
Yeah. George Munger there running in 10th. Scotty Brown in 15th. Earl James in 11th. So you got a guy in 6th and a guy in 11th, Todd.
I'll take it.
There you go. You got Melvin behind him in 12th. 13th, and Mr. Mackey in that number 82 ride. Jason O'Connor in 14th, that number 72 ride. Scotty Brown, we talked about 15th. I don't know why I popped him up twice. Reese in that number 33 car. Mr. Bordney in that number 69, that's 17 cars. 11 is Mr. Steele in 18th position. 19th is Frank Russell in that 32 car. Mr. Boger in that number 8. I guess he's running for Berge. And Thomas Lattimore in 21st, showing 8 laps down, didn't grid. So there you have it, Todd. Just went through the field there. We are at lap 9, real early on. Bruce is got a slight lead ahead of Massey. I'm interested in seeing how these green flag pit stops are going to go, and also how the tire wear strategy is going to play out.
Well, we're 10 laps in green here, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, I find here in New Hampshire, if the field can spread out in the first 3 or 4 laps, we usually tend to see some long green flag stops. Long green flag racing, I mean. What do we have? Do we have any battles brewing right now? I'm working my way through the field here. I'm looking around the track right now. It's looking fairly single file. No car gaggles right now at all, we're saying.
Battle for 4th and 5th is the closest thing on the racetrack, and it ain't that close.
So, now we got Bordney and Scotty Brown coming up. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. We're going to watch Scotty Brown as he tries to get around David Bordney. It looks like he's maybe successful. Nah, he wasn't quite successful.
David Bordney sailed it off into turn 1.
Yeah.
Able to keep it to him.
Yeah. Here with New Hampshire there, you can run that inside line and get low on them, but you're not going to have that speed coming off of the corners there. So you're going to see a lot of these guys start going to that outside lane later on. You see Bordney there. You got Scotty Brown. See, he does duck underneath him right now. And Bordney is making up that ground now, going up down the backstretch.
It seems like just at the top of that gray area is where the grip is. And if you're under there, you can't get a good run. And if you're up there, above there, then it's all marbles and crap.
Yep. You pretty much hit the nail right on the head, Todd. That's exactly what I was experiencing last night. It's a fine line, so what I basically try to do is just pretty much split that dark and that light area and just go from there. I kind of halved it.
That turned into quite the three-car battle there now.
Oh, yeah. So watching David Bourdon try to get around Scotty Brown now. It looks like the 8 car is going to go ahead and take advantage of both of them battling out as he gets in there on the inside.
Jonathan Boger wasn't waiting around for that to happen. He just got it done.
Yeah, he pretty much said, you know what, uh-oh. Oh, Bourdon got a little loose. We're riding on board with him watching this battle from his car. And we got eyewitness to him getting loose.
I think that's going to be something to watch for later in the runs here that we haven't seen in a lot of these setups up until this one. You might see guys actually able to cook the right rear off of these cars tonight before they kill the right front.
Yes, you're right there. I was experiencing that issue last night, and they are going to have to watch those rears there, so they will get looser. And you know where that's going to come into play, Todd? If we indeed have some long green flag runs, we're gonna see some cars spinning as they go into the pits there. You watch. If they get 30 plus laps on these tires, that's gonna happen.
Pit road entry is no sure thing here either, because you come down off that corner from 120 miles an hour and you got to get down to 45, and it seems like you only do it in 5 feet.
Yep, you're right.
There's a spinner. There's a spin on the front stretch.
Who do we got? The number 99. We're just talking about him. The number 99, Mr. Salmosa, riding from Mr. Worley. We're going to go ahead and back this up here and take a look at it, Todd. See what happened here. So we're going to go ahead and ride on board the nose cam with Mr. Worley right now. As he's coming around. I'm sorry, Salmosa. And let's see. There it is. No damage, though. No damage. No damage at all. So we do have a caution here. No damage for Mr. Salmosa. He's going to be able to go ahead and get some new tires and get back out there. So that's good to see for him and good for Mr. Worley.
George Munger and Doug Hess both made great moves, but they just missed him. Those two guys did. George Munger in particular, man, really hauled his car down and turned left and missed that 99 car.
I tell you what, no one's happier to see the skills put on display of avoiding that accident than Mr. Salmosa, because the last thing he wants is to put in a bad showing for Mr. Worley, who he's driving for. So that's pretty good.
So everybody down pit road here.
Everyone heading down pit road now, as Todd just points out there. What's the tire strategy? What do you think? It's too early to try anything funny? Just go for 4? Or is track position?
Everybody's going to take 4 tires. Everyone's going to take 4.
Everyone's taking 4.
And Ackerman overslid his pit stop, so he had to back up. That's going to cost him the lead here. Watch.
Yep, absolutely. And Massey gets ahead. And, it's going to cost him more than 1. Oh, he's gonna fix some damage anyway.
It's disastrous for him.
Yeah, he's deciding to pick some damage too. Apparently, it looks like, because I'm still showing him in there. As these cars come home.
Is everything.
You ain't lying, Todd. You are not lying one iota. Without a doubt, track position is everything. So Bruce is gonna go from first to almost last. I mean, Luis is going to go to almost last. So it was our first caution of the night. It looks to me like everybody took full everything. Full everything. Here comes the 33 and the 72 car right now. Reese and Jason O'Connor. So maybe they have some sort of pit strategy that they're working on. Maybe if it goes green, it'll play out to where they can finish up with one less spot. One less stop. So Todd, I'm looking here at the standings here in the Cup Series right now, and I'm showing Jerome Gustin in that number 43 car as our current points leader. Do you think Jerome's going to be able to stay out in front of Anthony? He does have a 32-point lead. What do you think?
I think he's Mr. Consistency the last 4 races in a row, and Stephen Massey just got a huge jump on the race start.
Yeah, and like you said,
leads him down into turn 1.
oh yeah, look at that 87 and the 07 bumping a little bit coming off of turn 1 and 2.
That's going to stack the field behind him. Watch down here in 3 and 4. Watch what happens.
Oh yes, it's gonna be. Oh look, man, 5 cars all right there. You got the 43 to 87.
I know, right?
Oh my goodness, and they're holding
3
it.
wide.
And they're holding it. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Man, that's a good shot of them going around those turns right now. This
That's
track.
ECR at its finest.
Yes, yes, sir, Todd. You got that right. Man, this flat track is just. Man, that throttle control. And those guys are just feathering that throttle coming around these turns and showing quite the skill level to be able to do that. 3 and 4 and 5 cars clumped all together. Looks like Mr. Munger's coming under fire right now. Todd, if you look back a little bit to that 6th place spot, he's getting hung out.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, he's they're gonna train him.
Jeff.
No, you're good. We're both getting excited watching the same thing. Yeah,
and Adams got that big run around the outside, man, and he. But George held him off. Look at that. He managed to.
He held him off
it there and kept it.
Yeah, and that's a fine line too, like you were saying. It's a fine line being able to hold it, and that rear end starting to slip where you're either gonna have to let off the throttle and let the guy by, or you're gonna risk spinning it out into that inside wall.
Yeah, so, last night's car, it seemed like if you got on the gas too early, it just pushed out to the fence. You shoved the right front into the fence. You know, this car, I drove it 15 laps. I didn't get much time in it, but it doesn't do that, man. You can spin it right around backwards.
Yes, sir. Look at Luis Samosa. He was second to last, and now he's getting by the number 61 right now. If you look back at position number 12, Todd, he does get around that number 61 of Andrew Melvin.
So you man on a mission.
He's working his way up. He's back into 12th now. Look at Scotty trying to get up there as well, as that he was for a short moment right up on Andrew Melvin's bumper. So Melvin, it's like they're after him. We're riding on board right now with Scotty Brown. As he's Scotty's into the wall. That's gonna hurt a little bit.
Yeah, you can't bang the right front up too much here, or you really need that downforce up there on that right front to get it to enter.
Yeah, you do, Todd. You're right. Look at this. Look at Luis. He's got 2 wide traffic in front of him. Riding on board right now, Luis Samosa.
That's going to get exciting because that's the 92 car who was leading.
Yes, they're both coming up through.
They're both going back to the front, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, they are. Here we are at lap 28 already. We've only had 1 caution, folks. Back to the point standing with the Cup cars here, sponsored by Pitstop Design. We got Jerome Gustin in first. Anthony Thitchner, who I'm not seeing out here tonight, second. Stephen Massey, third. Thomas Lattimore, who doesn't appear to have gridded at least, is in 4th in points, and the 5th place driver Justin Bland in 5th. That rounds out your top 5. Going back to last week at Kentucky, Todd, it was I believe the winner last week was Jerome, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, Jerome Gustin in Kentucky. He was your leader, or he was your eventual winner there.
Jerome will benefit greatly from tonight's race because I believe if you go back and look at the top 5 that you just mentioned, Anthony's not here, Justin Bland is not here tonight. Those guys will both fall in points tonight. And if Jerome can have another good night, which right now he's running the top 5, that'll be a big points night for him, big swing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, they'll gain 20 points right there. And Jerome's already ahead, so he doesn't need any help. But look at the number 46. Look at your driver there. He's trying to keep you in the hunt there, Todd. But he was unable to hold off Bruce Ackerman there. But now he's sandwiched between Bruce and Luis. 2 tough drivers. Is old Ed Adams in between?
Ed Adams is no slouch, man, but he's a pretty smart guy. I'm sure he knows those guys are in front of him, and he may just like to follow them up there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys are smart. We are at lap 32 of 175. He knows the longer he plays around with them, and they're going to get by him, most likely. He's just losing position to the guy behind him. But you know what?
Ed.
Andrew Melvin doesn't mind them old Ed battling it out, because he'll just go ahead and catch right up.
Ed Adams makes me so jealous because, like, he you know, you've seen the pictures. He's built like a totally new rig, direct drive wheel, new machine, new graphics card, all this stuff. I'm like, dude, I need to retire like you.
Yes, sir.
Or get Jeff Ford to build me one of those hot rods with the lights inside and the water-cooled graphics card.
Yeah. You're right. I like to build computers. So anyone watching out there, I've built plenty of computers for guys in iRacing. Guys in iRacing, not just here in ECRL, but all over iRacing. I've built computers for them, and my prices are fairly realistic. And didn't want to promo my own self in here, but Todd brought it up, so I'm going ahead and piggybacking off of it. Yeah, so if you need a computer, you can get with me, Jeffrey Ford, and iRacing. But back to the leader here, Stephen Massey. He's holding off John Cottle. John's been running up front a lot lately, Todd.
Yes, John Cottle has been managing to keep his cars under him, and he is doing some great racing lately.
Hey, you know, Todd, I like the fact that you said that right there, to keep the car under you. A lot of guys need to realize, and these guys do, that in order to score well, you have to be able to make it to the end. And just keeping the car under you for the entire length of the race will most times net you at least a top 15 finish.
True. And, you know, in the ECR, these races are long, man. They're half the length of a cup race. That's like an NIS race. You know, most guys that just race official. An NIS race is the longest thing they ever do. You know, they think that's so long. We do it every week. You have to be able to put multiple good pit stops together. You got to get on and off pit road safely every time without penalties. It's a long race every time. These are marathons, not sprints, and that's one of the best things about this league.
Yep, you got that right. No more of those short little C-Fix sprint races, which they're fun in a pinch, but nothing beats league racing, because if you want to get the full NASCAR experience, that's the only way to go, Todd, is in a league. And not all leagues can pull it off as well as others. We know here at the ECRL, and for those of you who may not know who are watching, and you can look down below for the link, it's ecrleague.com. We offer owners, drivers. I mean, you can be an owner, you can be a driver, all that stuff. It's just pretty much, what would you call it there, Todd? Like almost like a NASCAR role-playing game.
Sure, yes, it is. I would say that's fairly accurate. I say it's the closest thing to real racing without busting your real bones or breaking your real wallet.
There you go. That's pretty much it right there. So if you want to own a team, you can own a team. If you want to be an owner and a driver, you can still drive. Todd does. He owns cars. He drives.
I do. I've expanded my operation greatly. I now have.
I've noticed that.
Several trucks in the field and 2 cup cars, two Beeline cars, and 3 trucks running.
There you go, Todd. He's somewhat of a ECRL owner mogul here at ECR. He's getting his drivers, and I tell you what, Todd, you've got some good drivers there. They're finishing up front, so you got to be happy about that. Sometimes you roll the dice, and sometimes you come up good. Sometimes you come up snake eyes.
We're doing good, man. I picked some good guys. They're getting better every week.
Look at this. You got John Cottle and Chris Watkins going at it right now. Is Chris Watkins one of your guys as well, Todd?
Chris drives for me in the truck series, and he was already snapped up, subbing for other people in Beeline and Cup. But he's driving my truck this year, and I couldn't be happier. He put it on the podium already.
Yeah, so I mean, just what we're talking about there, Todd. I mean, I'm sure Todd puts a little bit of effort into picking his drivers as well. But man, you've hit on some pretty good ones, Todd. No doubt. So Chris went ahead and got in front of John Cottle. Now he needs to run down Stephen Massey, who's enjoying a 1.433 second lead. But John's not going to be so quick to give up so easy. We're going to see him try to retake that second position.
Massey's still a little bit quicker than him.
Looking at the lap times, I'm showing them about almost a second off of their start. Well, not a full second, but 0.7 of a second off their beginning fresh tire best laps. So let me work through the field here, see if we got any good battles brewing. That may be it for now. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing right now, Todd. Everything else is pretty much single file and pedestrian. Once again, folks, this is the New Hampshire 175. This is Elite Championship Racing League, presented by Pitstop Designs. If you need a paint, go ahead and get a hold of Joey Stats in iRacing, and he will hook you up. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and cut to a sponsored break, and we'll be back after these messages. Back here in Loudon, New Hampshire 175, where our current race leader is still Stephen Massey. So far showing he's the class of the field, but as Todd just pointed out to me, the 03 has won on a hunting expedition, has he not, Todd?
He has. The 03 has caught the 97, and Stephen Massey is under siege right now from that 03 company.
Yes, sir. We'll ride on board here with that 03 on the Ford Entertainment Group hood cam and see if he can indeed get by the 97 of Stephen Massey. Yeah, he's just waiting for Stephen to make a mistake there.
Yes.
But he may be a while waiting for Stephen to make a mistake, because as everyone in ECRL knows, Stephen Massey is one of our fastest drivers. But this rookie, Chris Watkins, he's giving it all he's got. He's got old 97 Stephen Massey looking in his rearview mirror, I'll tell you that.
Chris Watkins has a serious I rating, man. It's over 3,000. This dude can drive, no doubt about it.
Yes, sir. He does. He has a serious I rating. And I will tell you, it's a 3,094 I rating. That's the man's I rating right now, folks.
Yeah, this cat can drive.
Yeah, he's a driver.
We have gone now, what? Lap 51, we pitted on lap 21, 30 laps in now.
30 laps.
To the run,
33. And last night we could go 29, coasting 30 to the start-finish line. But
I think the Cup car is on 75% fuel.
75% fuel. Okay, so that there's a difference right there. But expecting to see these guys do some green flag pit stops here soon, and it's going to get interesting. As we're riding on board right now with Stephen Massey, we can see that he is coming up on some lap traffic, or he's getting ready to make them lap traffic. If that, I see a little smoke up here. We got somebody off. We do, Todd. We got someone smoking going down pit road. Not quite sure who that is, but we're gonna cut to the pit lane. Who is that? That's one of your guys, Todd. I believe that's number 46.
It is. It's Ed Adams.
It's Ed Adams. He must. I don't know what happened to him, but he's smoking hard. Looks like he's going to be in the pits for a little bit of time here. Not quite sure what happened to him, Todd. Maybe you can get a replay back there.
I'm rewinding back.
There you go. So David Bourdney just goes a lap down, and it looks like the number 82 ride is going to go a lap down here shortly, as he does give way to the leaders, Stephen Massey 97 and the 03 of Chris Watkins. But Stephen's doing a good job of keeping the 03 at bay. It's one thing to get up to the bumper, Todd. It's another thing to get by him. And as we said here, track position is everything, and it is difficult to pass.
It is hard to pass a car here. And just the update on Ed Adams. Ed Adams got loose coming off of turn 2 and spun his car and nosed it into the inside wall, and significant damage to that car. So I think he will spend some time on pit road.
Yeah, he's going to be spending, a fair amount of time in the pit lanes. But here in the ECRL, you're rewarded by finishing to the tune of not having to pay a $250,000 fine, which Todd's going to encourage his man to get out there. But we do have a lead change now. The 03 car has led lap 56. And now he's going to set sail. He doesn't have anyone else in front of him.
Chris Watkins complimenting Stephen Massey on a clean race there.
Oh, yeah. And that's what we come to expect anyway, right, Todd? Some clean racing by these ECRL guys. They're not... this isn't your official series iRacing events that happen here. These guys have been driving around each other for a long time. They've been friends for a long time, for years. The league's been together for quite some time. Dating back to the PlayStation 3. Is that right, Todd? On the console?
I know they were on console, yes. And then when iRacing came out, they came over here.
Right, and they actually still do have a series on console. As a matter of fact, going back to me building computers, I actually just built one for one of their console drivers, and he's driving for me in the truck and the Beeline Sims series as soon as he finishes his orientation, which is on this Friday. Which brings up another good point. If you're interested in the ECRL League, go to ECRleague.com, sign up, and we are providing orientation for new drivers this Friday. For more information, just head on over to the league website.
I encourage everybody, you were talking about the level of driving in this league and how people are respectful here. It's on the first page of the rule book. It's all about respect. You've got to be respectful in this league or you won't last.
Right.
You have to be a man. You got to drive like a man.
Drive like a man, and drive like you own the car, and like there's real consequences. There is consequences in this league for boneheaded moves. That's for sure. So Todd, looking at the rundown right now, I'm looking at 12 cars on the lead lap with 5 cars a lap down. So you can bet your ass that lucky dog is these lap cars are going to be fighting each other for that lucky dog, so they can get to that lead lap and also pit at the same time.
Bourdney, Mackey, and Reese, wherever they are on the track, to see I don't know how close they are together on the track right now.
Yeah, we're looking at those guys. Bourdney's in front of the number 87 right now.
I think you're going to see green flag pit stop starting here. I'm hearing John Cottle.
They're chirping up. Man, Chris Watkins and Stephen Massey running away with the race right now. They're both a full 6 seconds ahead of the next car. We're gonna go ahead and look to the rear of Stephen Massey here, and you can see there's nobody on that. They're just now coming out of turns 2 as he's going into turn 3.
Not to distract you, but John Cottle's bringing the 07 car down to short pit right now.
There you go. Yes, sir. And that's a strategy call. Short pitting provides you with what? A half second to a 3/4 of a second for each lap if the other cars do not come down. What do you like, Todd? You like to short pit? You like to run it dry? Or do you let the situation dictate that?
I do what the leaders do, because I'm usually not one of the leaders. But I like the earlier to get new tires on it, the better I feel. As soon as I think I can come in, I can come in and get them as soon as it's practical. Yes.
There you go. There's Todd's strategy right there. He's gonna come in and short pit for a lot of the times. Me, if I'm running in the top 5, I'm going to pit with the leaders or short pit. If I'm running back in 12th or 13th, I may elect to run it dry, hoping that I'll be able to make up some spots and maybe a caution will come out before the green flag run ends. So, but that's the gamble you take.
Well, Chris Watkins has gone, what, 44 laps?
I'm showing 47 laps. I'm showing 47 laps right now. I am showing 47 laps. Oh, Stephen Massey coming down. Stephen Massey coming down.
Let's see what Massey does.
He was.
He's going to hit pit road this time too.
All right. We're on board with the
Look for
97.
mistakes.
Oh yeah.
They're all coming.
Yep. They're like cattle. When the sheep herder comes in, they're following. 4-tire
I like
stop.
to watch these lead cars. I like to watch these lead cars come down pit road because, you know, you're pit under green, man. You only got to slide through that box. Just 5 seconds is all it takes, and you'll lose it straight away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. More cars coming down, the 99, 43. We got Douglas Hess, we got Worley, or not Worley, Samosa. We got the 43 car. We got Watkins coming off, or Chris coming off right now. So we'll see where that's going to put him in relation to Massey. We're going to see if Massey or he had the better pit stop. And I'll tell you where it put him. It put him out ahead still.
It did.
Yeah. It did. He's maintained that lead, so they either had similar stops. Let me see. Watkins had a 13.2 second, and Massey had a 13.5. So we're seeing that 0.3 of a difference right now on the track.
Chris Watkins picking them up and putting them down right now.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to beat. Yep, as you see, the number 03, our current, well, he's not our current race leader. I'm showing him in 4th, but he's coming, man. He's coming. 52 laps on Earl James, Andrew Melvin, and George Munger. I believe they're waiting for a possible caution so they could benefit from it, but looks like they're going to have to come down here shortly, Todd.
Oh, you're killing yourself.
Well, Todd, if a caution came out right now, they'd be geniuses. If a caution doesn't, they're losing time every time around the circuit. But if this keeps going like this, who knows? The 0-3 might just lap the whole field. Have you ever seen that, Todd?
No. Closest thing was Joseph Tyson at Pocono.
Oh, okay. And that's saying something right there. If he's almost lapping the field at Pocono.
George Munger is doing 29.88 on his last lap.
Yeah, a full second slower than Chris right now.
Yeah, Watkins' last lap was at 29.039. 0.8 faster.
And old George, he still is our race leader. He is our race leader right now. They got strung out a little bit, but you know what, Todd? With all that said, there's still over half a track left, or still over half a race left.
Oh yeah.
Here comes George now.
Still a long way to go in this. And George Munger may have calculated his fuel runs and may have saved himself a pit stop there. I do not know. I haven't done the math. I'm not that good at it off the top of my head.
Okay, well he did 54 there, right? We did 10, right? No, we did. No, we at 21. We stopped at 21. So you got 54. That's at 108 laps right now, and he can make it in one more stop. Yeah, one more stop. To where everybody else may need to make 2. Does that sound right, Todd?
Might be close, yes.
Andrew Melvin, the number 61 car, though, he is got 56 laps on his tires, and he's still out. I believe Melvin's going to have to come down here soon. If he didn't already, and I didn't see it, but I believe he has not came down yet.
Earl James as well, also still out on old tires.
Yeah, they're just begging for that caution to come out. And, you know, with even if that strategy doesn't play out, Todd, if guys are pitting 15 laps prior to that, it's not a bad gamble that the caution will come out within 15 laps of all those cars going into the pits and all those cars possibly spinning out on bad tires. Here comes your man now, Earl James. Let's see what he takes. I'm almost certain he's going to take 4 tires. That's riding on board right now with Earl James. You picked him up a couple races ago, right, Todd?
Earl and I raced against each other in official, and I actually hit him up and asked him about joining the league, and he was already in it. And so we teamed up, and we've been having a great time. Really great guy.
There you go. Takes all 4 as we expected.
Which I would have expected, yes, definitely.
Yep. 13.9 seconds in the is the pit time, as he's coming off of pit road now. And you got
the leader 7 seconds behind you. You know you're going to go a lap down. It doesn't do any good to take 2 tires and go out and be slow.
No. You know, maybe 2 tires if the pit window stopped with maybe 7 or 8 or 9 laps left. Maybe you only take 2. But when you're looking at full runs, you can't do 2 full runs on 2 of your tires. That's just too much. All right, we're looking at the lead right now from Chris Watkins. We're currently on lap 80, and as we see the number 61 come off of pit road there. But you can see the distance that he's ahead of Stephen Massey there. So that's what a 3-second lead looks like there, folks. But it's going to be interesting to see how quickly. We'll go ahead and stay on board looking back from the leader to see how quickly Earl can catch him on these good tires. What do you think, Todd?
Well, he's moving past the 82 car right now, and it shows him still on the lead lap. Earl's still on the lead lap, so I'm surprised. The leader is just behind him.
Yeah.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him. Staying ahead of the 03 car tonight, man.
Yeah, 03 on bad tires is it's probably as good as some of us on good tires.
Well, and the 03's tires are only, what, few laps old also.
Well, yeah, that's true also. As we are riding on board right now, Chris Watson, let's just do one lap around within the cockpit so you can see his hand movements and you see him get a little bit loose coming off of 4, but that's probably a controlled loose. He probably does that every time. Yeah, it looks like Chris is kind of diamonding the corners there, Todd. He's coming in a little bit at an angle, pointing it out to the center and then diamonding it back in. Or at least on 1 and 2.
He's doing a whale of a job.
Yeah, let's watch it one more time just to get a good look at it. So he's lifting at that number 2 sign. He's coming through. He slides out to the top light groove and then dials it back in.
Beating Stephen Massey by like half a second a lap right now.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? But Massey did short pit. Massey pitted way at least 2 laps in front of him, I believe. Maybe 3, I'm not sure. Maybe it was only 1.
It was only 1 lap.
Either way, 39's under fire. Let's see.
Go, Earl, go.
Give it some gas, Earl. Boss man is watching. Douglas Hess comes down now. The 39 is still trying to hold him off. That's it for him right there.
Yeah, he let him go. Earl's a great driver. You don't like to. You want to fight for your position, but you don't want to screw up the race. You see that car get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like,
yeah,
that guy's faster than you. Let him go.
Yeah, and that just, I mean, be smart about it. And Earl is a smart driver. He doesn't want to lose any track position to the cars behind him. So better let him go because he's going to get around you anyway. It's only lap 87. He will get around you in 90 laps. That way you can get back to running your line. As you see, the 61 car is coming up on the back of Earl James there. He's trying to make a move.
Earl, now he will race the 61 because the 61 is for position and
lucky dog
right now.
Yes, sir. And I'm showing Earl as having 1 lap older tires. But you know what, Todd? It's hard to pass here if the person doesn't make a mistake. As the 61 is getting right up on him now. It looks like it's a good one.
It's a race right now.
Yeah, he got by him.
And Luis Salmaso is side by side right now with the 87 and Josh Sheets. And with that, if he can get that position, Luis Salmaso will have climbed back into the top 5 after being sideways on the front straightaway, bringing out the caution.
There you go. They're running. 87's under fire by the number 8 too. Jonathan Boger, he's looking to get by him.
Got
He's
that
looking.
preferred outside line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that outside line I think is becoming dominant right now, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you think, but you can just see these guys if you get to the outside of somebody, they cannot drive off the corner with.
They cannot. Nope. The only risk in using that outside line is you have to slow down earlier, and you gotta hope that the guy is not gonna push you up the track or tap your left bumper there. Oh, as we're riding on board right now with that number 8 car, he gets a little loose. He saves it, and he's back on track. We're riding along with him. That was pretty cool.
Great coverage.
Yes, sir. Stephen Massey, 4.5 seconds behind Mr. Watkins. And behind him, our current points race leader, Jerome Gustin, is 15 seconds behind. So our points leader is 15 seconds behind the rookie of Chris Watkins. I'm sure you're very happy about that sign on, Todd.
Yes, I'm glad to see Chris Watkins doing well, and it bodes well for our team in the future. Yes, for sure. I want to point out that when Jonathan Boger got loose over there off of turn 2, Luis Salmaso slapped his car off the wall several times, and he may have got some damage out of that as well. So we'll see if he can be as fast as he was getting back to 5th place.
True. All right. Todd, we're going to cut to another commercial break here at 94 laps. Taking this 94 lap around. Our current race leader is Chris Watkins. He's currently enjoying a over 4-second lead over second place Stephen Massey. This is the New Hampshire 175 presented by Pitstop Designs. And this is the Elite Championship Racing League. Myself and Todd Gilly, we will be back in just a short moment. Welcome back, folks, here in New Hampshire, where we've completed 106 laps of racing here at New Hampshire. We've only had 2 cautions, and Chris Watkins is currently leading the field, leading the race, and most laps led as well. Todd, right now, it looks like Chris is going to be the man to beat. What do you think, buddy?
He's putting an old-fashioned ass whooping on him right now, Jeff.
He is taking them behind the tool shed, and he is wearing them out to the tune of 6 seconds over Stephen Massey, one of our fastest drivers. So, this rookie, man, he must have been a little bit angry in that Snickers 03 car. But I think a victory tonight, the old boy is going to be smiling. That'll be win number 2 this week. Is that right, Todd?
No.
Or did he?
No, he did not win the truck race.
He did not win the truck race. Okay. But he's winning tonight, Todd. That's for daggone sure. He is winning tonight.
So far.
So far, we're at 108 laps of 175, so we still have 60-plus laps left, 66 to be exact. But I think it's time to put a little bit of a spotlight on some of these cars and let the sponsors get a little bit of airplay. What do you think, Todd?
I said let's show off some of them paint schemes. There's so many talented painters in this league. Pitstop Designs, the series sponsor. Joey Stats paints a great car. Luis has several cars in the field tonight. Go ahead, run them down, man. Show them off.
Here we go. Let's show these babies off. Why not start off with the race leader, Chris Watkins, in that 03 Snickers bar car. I like that. I like the way that looks. Get a little bit of hungry looking at it, though, Todd. I'm telling you. Let's look at Stephen Massey, our second place driver in that Haters Make Us Famous Haas car. Chevrolet SS. That's Stephen Massey. Third is that always favorite of mine, Richard Petty, number 43. Behind him, we have in the 99 car, Luis Salmosa, in that Bud Light car. Luis Salmosa, subbing in for Ken Worley. He's a ECRL League favorite. Behind him, we have George Munger, that U-Haul. That orange U-Haul car. George has always been a fast driver there. Nice ride there. Behind him, we're looking at the number 8 car of Boger. That good wrench car.
It's quite the battle, those 3 cars right now. For position.
Yeah, they are battling right now. Let's cut to that. Now, let's see. Is the number 8 going to be able to take advantage of the 56 and the 99 as they battle it out? It's going to be going.
Working that thing right now on the bottom. Man.
He's working it on the bottom. It's going to be... Well, he made that stick, Todd.
He did.
He made that stick. I don't believe I've seen many cars run that inside line and still be able to... come out ahead, let alone actually maybe pull off a little bit. Pulled away from the 99 and number 8.
We might be seeing the racetrack change here now that we're 100 and some laps into this.
That plus 7 laps difference on tires as well, so that may have a little bit of something to do with it. But still, George got 39 laps on his tires, and he was still able to make that low line stick. Oh, the number 07 is coming up on 99 and 8. Let's see if he's going to make a move or not.
07's laps down.
Yeah, he's still going to fight for that position, I believe. We'll see.
Yeah, John Cottle somehow lost the lead lap there. He's now a lap down in 11th position.
Yeah, well... There's more cars laps down than not. At this point, we're looking at 6 cars on the lead lap. So, without a doubt.
In other news, The 92 car, Bruce Ackerman, parked his car at some point here. I don't know if he spun without us seeing it. I'm not sure what happened there, but he is no longer on the track.
Yeah, I noticed that. Still sitting there in pit road. Him as well as the number 33 car of Frank Russell, showing him his 4 laps down. He's just elected to park the car for now. That doesn't mean that they won't come back out to finish off the race there to avoid the DNF. Almost, oh, I thought they were going to go 3 wide coming out of turn 2. I'm still watching that battle there, the 8, the 07, and the 99. It's a good one, too.
It is, and on the strategy front,
oh, they just 8. Oh, 8 just got loose. That's going to bring on a caution.
Sideways. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. He got it straight. He got it straight, and there will not be a caution.
Let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and take an instant replay of that. We're watching a replay. This is a replay, folks. As you can see in the top right corner. I want to see him save this bad boy. Oh, how did he save that? Todd, that was amazing.
John Cottle just doored him.
Wow.
He pushed up and just doored him.
Yeah.
And you definitely can't call that a ran out of talent replay. That was a had a whole bunch left over replay.
Absolutely. That was that. He's gonna get this. You know, we're gonna start the save of the week. We gotta start doing the save of the week, Todd.
Yeah, man, that was it right there. We just watched it.
So as Mr. Watkins does his time trialing, it would appear, his time trialing, we're going to look back at the 56 of George Munger in that pack as they're riding pretty good there still. Looks like George is going to get past the 03. Now putting him on, well, I may be a little bit calling this a little too early, actually. But Munger is going to get that lap back the old-fashioned way, Todd.
George Munger pitted.
Oh, he pitted and we missed it.
Right when Boger was spinning.
Oh, spinning, okay.
George Munger was coming down pit road as I was just watching the replay, and you were talking about George Munger. I happened to notice that while Jonathan Boger was saving his car, Munger came down and pitted, so that may be a strategy thing that's going to play out here. Well,
we're looking at, if he came down and pitted, that means he's planning on doing a full fuel run to right about 175. So if it stays green, Munger may be able to pick up a few positions by getting in a little bit earlier than everybody else.
03 pitting now, 99 pitting now. They're all coming now.
Here they come. As our Ford Entertainment Group pit lane cam is watching these fantastic cars tilt up, tilt down, tilt up, tilt down, change 2 tires, change 4 tires, and as well as get some of that fuel. Interesting thing to point out, Todd, is that at some point during this this season, maybe next build, iRacing is going to have the pit crews actually coming across, sliding, and changing tires. I don't know if you were able to read that post.
No.
That'll make for some great broadcasting animations, I think.
For sure.
But for now, they just talk a little bit behind the wall without doing too daggone much.
I hope they can someday have it so that a tire can wear out and actually blow.
Oh, you mean like a, yeah? It sounds good until it's you and you're on the and you're winning.
Right.
But it's realistic, you know. It's realistic. Say somebody scrubbed the wall a few times, or they're beating and banging on each other. I wouldn't mind it occasionally blowing out.
I'm not talking about so much tire rubs and cutting them down. I just mean guys, you know, just scrubbing them off, scrubbing them off, scrubbing them off. They never pop in iRacing, but in real life they do.
That's true. especially on tracks like this where they're putting a lot of heat in that tire from those brakes, because these guys are you know, they're running 130, 140, 40 mile an hour and 150 even, and they're having to scrub that speed down, especially later in the run, to like what, 90 around the corners, kind of.
Right.
So
I'm gonna send down and have some beer brought up to the booth here, because Ed Adams is back on the track, and that means I'll be $250,000 to the good instead of playing a DNF.
There you go. If you guys are new to watching out there, if you do not finish the race, your owner, in this case, Ed Adams' owner, Todd Gilly, who's up here in the booth with me, he has to pay $250,000 in ECRL cash. To find out more about ECRL cash and exactly how we're meaning the owner and driver interaction, go to their league website, check them out. They have all that information there for you.
We are seeing some strategy playing out here. We saw Caudill pit, and he was, at one time was 2 laps down. He is now 7th and back on the lead lap. Earl James is 3rd. He's pitting this lap. We'll see what happens here. It's going to be very interesting at the end of this.
Yeah, different strategies. Of course, a caution kind of throws a wrench into everything. But I'd say the last person that wants to see a caution right now is Mr. Watkins.
Yeah, Chris Watkins has a strategy. Go faster than everybody else.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know about all this strategy stuff, but I'm just going to make sure I'm coming off the corners a little bit quicker than the next guy.
Yeah, he says, I don't care when you pit, man. Go ahead, whenever you want.
Yeah, he's like, heck with it. I don't even need to pit. I haven't even taken any tires.
Yeah, I'll pit when I feel like it, okay?
Yeah, but the real question is, when he's done, is he going to be able to pass Tech?
Yeah.
What's he got underneath the hood there?
I don't know. That's Josh Eads' car. I want to point out, if he doesn't pass Tech. That's Sheets' car.
That's Sheets' car. Everybody will be under fire. Yeah, I think the 46. I think the 46 car has seen some better days there on the front end as we're taking a look around it right now. I don't think the driver's side wheel is supposed to be that visible.
Chris Watkins has lapped everybody up to 5th place.
Yeah, that's not very nice of Chris there. He needs to eat that Snickers bar and quit being so angry with the field.
Yeah.
He's a little hangry right now. Alright, now let's see if we can get through these cars again. I'm just going to go through them real quick. I'll leave the commentary out of it. We'll just take a look at some of these fine paint schemes. Pitstop Designs does do a lot of these guys' paint schemes. So if you want something similar to some of these guys have, it's a fair bet that Joey Stats has done it. Giving the sponsors a little bit of airtime here, Todd. After watching some of these cars go around in these fantastic schemes. Who's you like the best, Todd?
I really like Andrew Melvin's Harley Davidson scheme. It's really cool. It's got a great hood on that car.
Are you a Harley type guy?
I don't have one, no. I like my motorcycles quiet and smooth, but they're nice to look at.
Yeah, especially those chromed out ones. I don't know, is chrome still a thing now, or has it moved on to something else?
Oh, who knows? Whatever they can get them to spend their money on, huh?
Exactly. There's that number 61 car of Melvin's that Todd Gilly up here in the booth is talking about. It is a nice looking scheme. Do we know who did that one for him?
I do not.
Okay. We have a few, the reason why I asked out there in YouTube land is because we have a few guys who paint cars here. But definitely tonight's sponsor of Pitstop Designs. I know he does a majority of them, but if you need something, he'll be the man to go to.
Yes, Luis also paints beautiful cars. Nick Geilis, of course, from Nightmare Graphics.
Dylan Schmidt, he does all mine.
Dylan Schmidt can paint a car. Scotty Brown paints nice cars.
A lot of talent here. And old Scotty Brown, he also he does broadcast Monday night Pit Stop Design Series as well, which is in the trucks. So we have trucks for you. We have the B car for you. We have the A Cup car. We have dirt for you. So all of those different series are available, and all the information you need concerning each one of those are at the website ECRLeague.com. So what happened to Scotty? He decided to park it for the night, or?
Scotty parked it quite some time ago.
Yeah, 106 laps ago to be exact.
Everybody's having an internet issue right now.
Yep, I just had it as well. It was a server issue. It kind of blinked on my side too. I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah, I heard them calling out that the leader of the race had disappeared.
I'm showing him back though.
He's back.
He's back.
Yeah, he's back now. No such luck, huh? For them.
Exactly. What do the rules state for that anyway?
I'm not entirely sure. I know there's if you lag out twice, I don't think you can come back in.
Right. Yeah, that, you know what? That is the equivalent of a iRacing snafu. That's the equivalent of our mechanical failure. There's our tire blown.
Check on Stephen Massey.
I have him here. He's got some cars barking up his door, but yeah. To the tune of 12 seconds. Yeah, he looks fine to me. Was he complaining that he's having internet issues?
Somebody pounded the wall, and they wanted the caution to come out. Oh, the 87 hit the wall.
Oh, it's the 87.
But the caution did not fly. But it definitely impeded Stephen Massey's progress there.
Huh.
Wow, I can't believe the caution didn't come out. I can't believe it. He actually spun.
Well, I don't think we have a race controller tonight, so.
No, I mean, I'm surprised iRacing didn't throw it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of iffy with iRacing. Sometimes they'll throw one, you're like, why did they throw one? And other times you're like, really? There was nothing called?
He spun, hit the wall, and his car was as slow as like 47 miles an hour before he got going again. I can't believe the caution.
We got the number 43 and the number 8 battling out right now. Even though they're not on the same lap, they are battling.
They are side by side at the Hampshire Speedway.
Absolutely. It's the only close racing I could find out on the track right now. $32 more to go.
Well, 32 more to go, and not to call about it again, but Chris Watkins continues to dominate this race. Only 3 cars left on the lead lap. Jerome Justin 26 seconds behind him now, and wow, never seen domination like this.
No, we haven't. Looking at our race summary, which I have popped up on the screen there as well, Todd, it looks like we've only had, what, 1 caution for 2 laps.
I believe that's correct, yes.
Yeah, 1 caution for 2 laps. So we've had 1 caution, 145 laps, and 8 total lead changes, which it's been so long since we've had a lead change that I can't even remember the last guy who was leading. Probably, well, Stephen Massey was leading for a few laps.
It was.
Until Chris was able to make his way up through the field. But it's been all Chris. It's been all Chris for some time now. And he's enjoying a little bit of a lead right now to almost 13 seconds in front of Stephen Massey. So,
yeah, and just to put some salt in the wound for the rest of the field there, Chris Watkins turned in his fastest lap at 28.86 on lap 124. So he's not exactly getting slower.
No. But I will point out, though, that although Chris Watkins had that 28.8, Stephen Massey's had a 28.7 as well as Jerome Justin. So if they can ever get a caution, they can hang with them on a short run. But obviously, obviously Chris is he's got it in the long run, as shown by his 13-second lead right now over Stephen Massey. But Stephen is cutting into that lead slowly. Although last lap he was 0.2 slower. So Jonathan Boger just went down right now, 2 laps down the old-fashioned way. I mean, what do you say? I mean, there's not much to say here. Other than
the other 2 fastest guys in the last couple weeks, Massey, Jerome Justin, and even George Munger and Louise. These guys are the quickest guys the last 2 weeks consistently, and they are just chasing that 03 car.
Yeah, they're playing catch up, except they ain't catching up.
Yeah.
But impressive nonetheless that there's only been 1 caution in 150 laps. Regardless of Chris running away with this thing. And like Todd said, I mean, we're going to have to see how it plays out because there are varying strategies going on right now. We could get a surprise guy showing a lap down, end up in the top 5 after the green flag run ends. Todd?
Sure.
Some of these guys may have miscalculated, and maybe they're gonna be 2 or 3 laps short. You might start seeing some cars start saving fuel. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that, as a broadcaster, you can't be completely in touch with. Maybe most of these guys have to pit again, and maybe 1 or 2 don't. I mean, how will that play out? It's hard to say.
Watkins' last pit stop was on lap 123 out of 175.
Okay.
He has to go, 52?
Yep, and he can. He can. I showed Munger going 54 laps, so. Well, Todd, we got 20 laps to go. Let's go ahead and cut to a commercial break, our final commercial break of the night. And once again, this is the Elite Championship Racing League. It is sponsored by Pitstop Designs. So if you need a paint done, hit up Joey Stats. That's JoeyStaats. Joey Stats. Private message him in iRacing, and he'll be quick to hook you up. So that's Pitstop's Designs. We're going to cut away for a short commercial break. And myself and Todd, we will be right back. Welcome back to the New Hampshire 175 Elite Championship Racing League Cup Series presented by Pitstop Designs. Right now, no change in the leader. The leader still is Mr. Watkins, who's been leading pretty much 2/3 of the race with Stephen Massey behind him. Todd, what's it going to take for these guys to catch up to Watkins?
Maybe a lightning strike to the 03 car and wipe out his electronics. I don't know, man. No one's going to catch him tonight. He's just so fast on this track. Stephen Massey, the only other car even on the lead lap right now, 13.5 seconds behind him. So maybe a fuel strategy miracle. I don't know.
Yeah,
and I think he can make it to the end. So that's not going to. He can make it to the end, so that's not even going to work.
Yeah, that's not even going to work. 2 cars on the lead lap. And check this out. Only 4 cars a lap down. And folks out there, this isn't because these guys got injured, or not injured, but got damaged. But it's because Mr. Watkins just, some nights, it's just that driver's night. And tonight, Watkins, he's got the number of New Hampshire, and nobody else is even close, Todd.
Well, we modern NASCAR fans are used to, a bunch of cars finishing on the lead lap and really close finishes and whatnot. But back in the day, back in the 50s, 60s, it was nothing for guys to win races by multiple laps, where the leader would be 2, 3, 5 laps ahead of second place. It happened all the time back in the day.
No more. The days of a lot of cars not on the lead lap, like you said, they're over.
No, you can't sell TV time for races like that.
No, you can't. And NASCAR has done a fantastic job of keeping the racing tight, although some people say it allows drivers who don't necessarily have a whole lot of talent to stay up there. But for the fans, hey, it's good. It's good. It's good business. Man, we're gonna not get our first interview until we get to the podium finish. 10 to go now, Todd. 10 to go.
Yeah.
I'm just working my way through the field here, looking for anything. But it's more of a testament to everyone's skill in keeping the car underneath them, like you talked about earlier. It's a green flag pit stop. It's New Hampshire, as we see the John Cottle get a little bit loose there. Got into the grass, but he saved it. Hey, we got some side-by-side action right now. 12th spot, Josh Sheets. It's not for position, but they are side-by-side. 87 and 31 of Douglas Hess. They're battling it out. Let's see if Doug can get past him. He does have that coveted outside line. Let's see if he's going to be able to hang on to it. Ooh, the number 87 of Josh Sheets does get by him.
I think Douglas Hess did the wiser thing there.
Yep.
Running in the top 5. Running in the top 5 and letting him go, maybe.
Yep, you're right. That's exactly what he did. As now we see the number 8 and number 82 battling it out. Let's ride on board with the 8 and see if he can go ahead and get past the 82. It's not for position, as everyone's strung out in different areas. Different pit strategies, so the positioning is all different. Well, Todd, 6 to go.
6 to go, and Chris Watkins still leading this race by 14.3 seconds now.
Yeah, and Jerome is going to take a podium finish with the lap down. And somebody just blew up. The 87 of Josh Sheets just blew up. Did you catch that?
Oh, but I see him smoking on.
He is smoking. That engine is done. I didn't see exactly what happened. Whether it was just the engine went on him or if he hit the wall or something. I don't know. The car looks all banged up. That 87 Cornerstone Church red white mobile. Josh, he is a youth pastor at Cornerstone. So I'm sure he's got plenty of fans watching those. As you see, he takes it to the wall there. It's going to be a $250,000 stop. Back out to the race leader.
I just rode with Josh, and I didn't hear anything strange, but I think his motor definitely blew up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get out at all. He might have been better off just to stay out there and get DQ'd. 14 seconds. 2 more laps by for Mr. Watkins. He's had a lonely night up front there, Todd.
Can't have a better one than that, though.
He is not complaining, that's for sure. His sponsor, Snickers, ain't complaining. Two more to go, sir.
2 to go. Well, I cannot remember seeing a rundown like when you bring up the results here. Can't remember seeing all those L's, you know.
Yeah.
You get 3rd place a lap down. Unbelievable.
3rd place a lap down conventionally.
Right.
Last lap.
But I gotta give a shout out. Earl James has the 39 car in 6th position, 2 laps down. Way to go, Earl.
Yes, sir. You got to be happy about that. Here we are, riding on the hood cam of Chris Watkins as he's about to take his last 2 turns to what turned out to be total domination for Mr. Watkins. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be letting him know what a fine job he did.
Chris Watkins starting the World Domination Tour tonight.
Yeah, he is. You know, it's good to revel in those times when it's happening because they'll end. You know, you get these guys that are so dominant for 3 or 4 or 5 laps in a row, and you wonder if anyone can beat them. And then, you know, somebody does. Somebody beats them. And then you realize that you're just human again. But tonight, he was definitely Superman.
Certainly was. So your top 3 are going to be Chris Watkins in the 03, Stephen Massey in the 97, and Jerome Justin in the 43, with Luis Salmaso in the 99 and Douglas Hess in the 31, rounding out the top 5.
There you have it. As we're watching Mr. Watkins burn it down right now. 54 laps on his tires. Perfect strategy, Todd. Perfect strategy.
Nearly perfect donuts as well, Jeff, as he's spinning that car right around in its own length on the front straightaway right now.
Fantastic. He showed a little bit of precision all night long. So, without further ado, Todd, let's cut to a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll go ahead and speak with tonight's podium finishers, 1st through 3rd. So, myself and Todd Gilly, we will be right back after this commercial break. live. Back here in New Hampshire after 175 laps, we have our top 3 finishers. Chris Watkins in first, Stephen Massey second, and Jerome Gustin in third. All 3 drivers are here. Todd Gilly, do the honors, would you, sir?
Jerome Justin, you ran a great race in that 43 STP car. Again, tonight you were Mr. Consistency here in the ECRL the last couple of weeks. How are you able to stay up there tonight and keep that car in contention?
Well, I had to follow a few people to learn how to drive again at first. I got passed a lot there, and then I think after the first pit stop, I started getting into consistent mode and started passing people and having good pit stops. So that's how I got up there and stayed up there. People had misfortunate, like Luis hit the wall, I think, and some other people had some problems.
What was the key tonight? What would you cite as the biggest thing to stay in competitive tonight?
Track position.
Very good, man. Hey, like I said, you've been doing a great job. I believe your points leader still in Cup, and you've been doing a terrific job, like I said, with consistency and just being near the front of these things. It's going to be very difficult to catch you if you can just keep running like that. Anybody you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, my fiance Lindsay, she should be watching at her mom's house over there in Foxholm. So shout out to her and thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow, I guess. So thanks again, you guys. Thanks to Anthony for putting on this stuff, and Pitstop Designs for sponsoring. So thanks to Joey Stats for that, and thank you guys for what you guys do.
Appreciate it. We'll toss it over to Jeff now. I think he's going to interview Stephen Massey.
All right. Steven, do I got a copy, brother?
Yes, you do.
Man, that number 97 car there, it was out front for a little while tonight. You had to be feeling pretty good about that, right, Steven?
Yeah, while I was out front, and then I seen the 03 make it to second, and then all my happiness went away.
All the happiness went away. I hear you, buddy. But, yeah, you finished second there. I don't know if you were aware of it, but you were the only person on the same lap as Chris. So, kudos for that, because Chris had New Hampshire under control tonight. But you were able to stay on the lead lap there, Steven. And it looked like you were trying to do some longer pit stop runs there at the end. Was there any reason why it looked to me like you changed up your strategy a little bit there at the end?
Yeah, I did. When Chris got by me, I spent about 20 laps trying to figure out how the hell he was, sorry, excuse that language.
How he was running so fast?
How he was running the bottom like that and hooking it so well. So I experimented with that for 20 laps, and then I said, well, I'm going to try to short pit, maybe gain some time on him. Because he was hauling. He was flowing. He was so consistent. He was setting his corners up perfect. And so I short pitted the first 2 times, and then at the end there, I stretched it out. I barely made it on fuel.
There you
and
go.
Then I also forgot how to drive. About 50 laps to go, I forgot that I can punch it out of the corners after about 10, 15 laps on the run, and I was not doing that for the entire middle part of that race.
Right. So you were probably pushing a little bit until you started punching and was able to slide that rear end out a little bit. But, yeah, man, you did great. It's a podium finish there at the end. Unfortunately, Chris just had the track down pretty good. But a second place finish, podium finish, and not much, no tears over that there, Steven. So anyone you want to give a shout out to, anyone that you want to thank, anyone that might be watching before we go to Chris?
Shout out to everyone in the league. Let's see, Monday night we had 0 cautions, and then tonight we only had 1. That's pretty freaking good. I mean, that's as good as it gets for league racing, any kind of racing. And I want to thank you guys for broadcasting, the admins, the league, and I want to congratulate Jerome and Chris on great runs tonight.
There you have it, folks. There's Stephen Massey, our second place finisher tonight. Todd, you want to go ahead and take Chris?
Chris Watkins, Todd Gilly in the booth. You copy?
Got you.
Hey, man, what an old-fashioned Texas ass whooping you put on him tonight, man. Give us a lowdown on what it was like to dominate a race like that.
Man, it was actually actually very stressful, to be honest. I mean, coming into this league, man, you guys have done some great racing this whole week, and this is my first week here, and it's great racing next to Steven, and just coming through the pack, everybody was real clean and real hard to get around. It wasn't easy at all to get up front. Just I knew that I couldn't get by Steven on the outside. I had to try to work around the bottom, and I started working it in. I felt some rubber building up down there coming out of the corners, and if you could hook it just right, you could get some bite off the corner. And I was just like, once I got that figured out, it was like, well, we're going.
Well, you did a terrific job tonight, man. And we did notice that you guys seemed to be the groove actually seemed to be kind of moving down. Was that was the case then?
Yeah, that's what I felt like. I mean, once you get your car where it'll turn in the center and you can get that bite coming off, I felt like I was sliding the front end too much up there on the high side, and that was where everybody was trying to run and then sliding the tires, and I just felt like that was too slick for me up there, and just tried a different groove, and it seemed to work.
Well, you did a terrific job, man. A whale of a Cup debut here in the ECRL. Again, you guys put on a great show. I agree 100% with Stephen Massey saying ECRL put on 3 fantastic races this week. Anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight after getting your first win here?
First and foremost, it just to the whole league. Letting me come in and race with you guys. You guys are the cleanest bunch of guys I've ever raced with, and it's been a blast. It's been very intense and just nail biting. And you got to be on the edge of your seat the whole time, and I got to thank Mike Dullard for the paint job, Dodge Boys Fabrication, and just, everybody that helped me get to this point.
Well, congrats on the big win tonight there. You got anything for our winner, Jeffrey Ford?
Just echoing what Todd said there. Congratulations on your win here in the Cup Series and your first win here in the Cup Series as well. And you're putting on quite a show, but you are putting a little bit of target on your back there. You're showing that you're going to be one of the top runners here week in, week out, Chris. So with that said, I got to ask you one question, Chris.
What's that?
Next week, we're going to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How are you in Indianapolis?
I'm not too bad, but I'm not the greatest. I'm going to be back in the 03 Cup car again, from as far as I'm aware. And that's, man, I'm looking forward to racing door to door with Steven, and then hopefully get to race with the 43, a little more this next time.
There you go, folks. Thank you, Chris. Did a fantastic job tonight. It's a podium finish for you. And as I always say, anytime you're talking to me at the end of the race, you obviously did some pretty good things out there. So, with no more further ado, this is myself, Jeffrey Ford, my co-host, Todd Gilley. This is the Ford Entertainment Group, and you watch the Elite Championship Racing League, sponsored by Pitstop Designs, 175 laps in New Hampshire. We'll see you next week at the same time. Take care, everyone, and good night.
Peace out.